Hey, Dustin Pancari here from Klim. We're out riding in Island Park, Idaho, and I'm really excited. This is probably my favorite piece that I've been riding all season long and testing it. This is called the Resistor Gore-Tex Glove. And what it is it's a heated, insulated glove that's powered by a little small battery pack. So we get to test new products all year, but every once in a while we'll get this product that we just know right off the bat. We think to ourselves, why haven't we had this before? Why didn't we think of this before? Because it's just one of those kind of game changers in the industry. And I feel like that's what this is. On those days when you just can't seem to quite get your hands warm, or those days where you're riding and you're doing fine, but the minute you stop, the minute you take your hands off the hand warmers, you can't hardly function and do zippers and things like that because it's so cold. These gloves have been the best thing in those scenarios. And I'll just kind of tell you how they work real quick. So you push it for 4 seconds and hold it, and then the button, there's little lights inside that'll turn red. And that tells you that the gloves are on, or that this glove is on. There's one for each glove. And it's on the high setting. So the high setting is red. If I touch it again, it's going to go to blue. And that's the medium setting, or the medium heat setting. And then if I touch it again, it's going to go to green, and that's the low heat setting. And then if I touch it again, it's going to go back to red. So because it's battery powered, eventually the battery is going to run down. So how long will the battery last? Well, from my experience, if I leave it in the high setting, it's going to use the battery the fastest, right? And I might get hour and a half, 2 hours maybe at the most if I'm lucky. But what they've done is we've programmed it so that in the high setting, after 10 minutes, it automatically drops itself to the medium setting, the medium heat setting, and that's to conserve battery. So if I'm in a situation where it's really cold and I really need it to stay in the high setting, it's not that big a deal to just tap it in a couple of times and I'm back to the high setting and it'll turn itself back up. But then I'm not wasting the battery. If I forget and it continues to be in the high setting, it's automatically going to turn itself back to the medium setting. And I love that feature because I found myself forgetting all the time. Like I'd want to warm up, and then I'd get back on the sled and I wouldn't really need it in the high setting, but I would forget to turn it down to the medium setting. So it conserved battery on its own from turning itself down after 10 minutes. And then of course there's a low setting as well, which is just kind of a slight warming. You can kind of feel it warm, but it's not real hot. I find myself using that setting quite often, and I can get, on a lot of days I was getting between 6, maybe as many as 8 hours if I just left it in the low setting all day. Another cool thing I found is if we'd stop and we'd go in and get something to eat, or if we were taking pictures or whatever we were doing, I could leave it on the low setting. My hands would start to get cold taking photos and things like that. Come back, slide your hands in, they're nice and warm, they warm up fast. So they're just super comfortable. Where is the heat? So the heat goes all the way, there's elements inside these gloves, and they go all the way across the back of the hand, and then they wrap around the fingers, but we don't have any heat element in the palm. And the idea there is don't heat any more of the surface than we need to, because the palm is going to be heated by the hand warmers on the snowmobile, so we don't really need to warm the palm. But we're going to warm the fingers, and we're going to warm the back of the hand. And another thing that I really noticed, because we're warming these fingers, my pointy finger is the first one to get cold because I leave it on the brake all the time. That one seems to get cold the easiest and the fastest, and it's the hardest to get to warm up. And now that we're wrapping that element around that finger, it seems like that's been the easiest, or I shouldn't say the easiest, but it stays warm easier. And I don't notice that finger getting cold as much. So these are like my go-to gloves now. When it's warm outside, I use my thin gloves, but I keep them with me all the time because almost every morning when it's cold, I'm using them, and then I'll stow them in the back of the sled in the afternoon if I don't need them or whatnot. And then on that super cold ride back to the truck, I'm throwing them back on again. Or if I have to stand around up on the snow, say we're fixing a sled or whatever, I can slip them on for a minute and warm my hands up. So I wish we'd have come up with these 20 years ago. They're just so nice. But the batteries don't take that long to recharge. I'm finding, depending on how far I run them down, 20 minutes to a couple of hours. Just a simple plug-in wall charger. The battery's very small. I'll show you what they look like. They kind of stow right here. I can't fill the battery when I'm wearing the gloves. So I thought I would be able to at first, but through all my articulation, emotion, aggressive riding, I never noticed the batteries there. It's so small and lightweight. So anyways, we're going to put some more time on these gloves. We'll give you more information as the season goes on. Check out our YouTube channel because we're going to do a bunch more of these little informational reviews. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram. We'll keep putting information out. Thanks for watching.